Okay, let's go. So welcome everyone for the 5th edition of WomenInTech 2. It's really an honor for me to be there to do the keynote with Alejandra. So Alejandra create this event, WomenInTech 2, so she will say a few words about it.
Thank you. Yes, so WomenInTech 2 comes just from a place that is trying to get a safe space for women. So we can say whatever we want, and we can do whatever we want, and we can share our feelings, our success, our failures, and also our tears. This is a place where no one will come to you and say, you should do something else. No, not anymore. This is a place where we can celebrate knowledge from women. This is a event made by women for everyone that is trying to realize that there is an issue here to address. We need to talk more. We need to take the spotlight more. And this is WomenInTech 2.
Yeah, so as Alejandra said, today this meetup is really for you to share your experience, your doubts, your tips, your advice to everyone. So let's introduce ourselves. So my name is Estelle. I work at Criteo for the past 4 years now. Before that, I worked in a completely different field because I'm coming from food industry. I did have a engineer background, but I studied nutrition and quality. That's why I start working in a startup that bakes cookies, super nutritious. And during the first lockdown of the COVID, I decided to change my career. So I did a boot camp. It was a 6 months, very hard boot camp. After what I applied for an internship at Criteo. And here I am 4 years after.
Yeah, so I'm Alejandra. I'm also a developer here. I'm many things. I'm super opinionated, and I really like to say things very, very loud. And sometimes I cross people in the hallway of Criteo, and it's like, yeah, I think I heard your laugh. I will take it right. Okay, thanks. But also, and one of the things that I feel I deeply join Cecile, what she said, it's about an amazing journey that is coming to Criteo and having a company that has a business, but also give me the place to have a voice to share about things that are important for me. And it's even better to see people that resonates with this idea.
Thanks, Ale. Okay. So to introduce the first part, I just want to say that I was the kind of person when I started in the tech industry to use a lot of conditional tense in my sentence, a lot of if, a lot of but in the middle of my sentence, because I didn't have the gut to put my ideas on the table. And it's mainly because I was affected by the imposter syndrome, for sure. I was afraid to say something that sounds dumb. And it's not even because I'm not experienced enough in the field. It's very like, I think, the society that learned me to do like this way. And speaking of that, Alejandra.
We are obviously shaped by society. We are influenced constantly by all the message that society give us. And somehow that always influence how we're going to swim in this ocean of life and of work. And it's so important that we can acknowledge that, not because before I used to feel like very alone, feeling not confident. And through time, it's more like a sharing feeling. So it's important to know where we are coming from, so we can change where we are going.
I mean, so the question is, in the tech industry, how, as a woman, can I get more confidence in my professional skills? So for the first part, what we want to share with you is how, with our own experience, we were able to transform ideas into action. Because in the tech industry, having innovative ideas is like the beginning. The real challenge is to change these ideas into actions. And for that, we have, for example, my idea is I want to put women in tech community in front. How can I persuade my own company that women in tech is important? How can I transform it into action? Ta-da! So we put in place a meetup for that. So to communicate with others, to share our experience.
And it's so important that we can go step by step and find a framework that support us.
Yeah, because so when you are transforming an idea to action, you have to follow like a project. So as a project, you have several strategic steps for that. So basically, for the Women Do Tech 2, we need to start with a very clear subject because a meetup is very large. So we defined, for example, 3 tracks. We also have to break it down into little steps because as it's a big project, we started like 6 months ago. To make it manageable, we have to define a little stuff like the budget, the sponsor. It can be also the allies. So everything like in the project.
Go ahead.
Another thing that is really important is to settle the deadlines. When you want to accomplish something, you have like kind of sub deadlines because you are not going to reach the goals like straightforward. It can take times. So you need to make sure that you are going step by step in your project and you ensuring that you are steady in progress. You need to find motivated people, supportive community to help you in that way. That's why, for example, for the meetup, we contact a lot of people. Jarmuth said yes to be one of our allies. We need to find people that have confidence enough to do this project with us. We need to stay also committed to the subject. So for that, Kini was there to make sure that every week we have a sync to be sure that we follow the topic, because really quickly we can say, okay, this week is not important. I don't have time to do it. And at the end, you are not going to the end of your project. And finally, something that is really important for me is about celebrating the milestone. We forget too much that every steps should be a victory for us. So do not forget to recognize that you can be proud about what you've done so far.
So I just want to add something that I think it's very important and that it works very, very good for me. And it's I always talk about what I want to do. I always share what I want to do. And it's a challenge because once you share it, you just have to do it. Otherwise, you would be like, oh, she say things and then she doesn't do anything. So basically, you can always jump into that idea by sharing, and you can find traction on that also. But the most important thing is that because you're sharing, is that you acknowledge that you are not alone, that you are part of a community, and that community can help you. It can make you move forward, can push you in the right direction, and can even see you with the right glasses when you don't see yourself with the right glasses, which happens all the time. But that's why it's important to leverage women in tech networking.
Yeah. So the question before we jump into the networking is, so we said at the beginning of the presentation that we need a safe place. But why do we need a safe place at the first place?
This is a topic that I've been thinking, talking, reading, investigating about, and that I'm eager to address today. It's rivalry and competition between women, especially in work. And there is a thing before, because all the Disney's movies that I grew up with, there was this nice, cute, innocent, very pretty young girl that was kind of like lost in life, waiting for a charming prince. And there is another woman, and she is old and knowledgeable and not into love at all. And she knows what she wants, and she's very opinionated. And somehow she's always perceived as a bad person. And those two women cannot be friends. And that's awful. I want to rewrite this. I want to overwrite this idea, because when I see this, when I'm building myself as a woman with this image, and then I come back to work and I trying to interact with the few women that are in the table, my interaction with her is not healthy at all. And there are so many words that we are called when a lot of women are working together. There is a cat fight, for example, and it has never a nice meaning, ever. So I want to rework that. I want to change that. And the only way to do it is start talking about it, acknowledging this situation.
Yeah, this is completely true. I mean, when you're very young, this kind of fairy tales is what you learn. And we learn indeed that there is a lot of conflict between women. We even have like a French expression for that, like crépage de chignon, when we say that women work together. And you can see that there is no male expression like crépage de barbe. It's not, no, it doesn't work. So so we really need to fight against these ideas. And we need, with Women in Tech, this is indeed a safe place to build together. So this is a sentence I really like. It's from a man. Getting together is a start. Staying together is progress. Working together is success.
So leverage the networking. It's a way to find new resources, and it's not only for support, it's also for mentorship. And it's a way to find a new solutions to help.
So you can see that the network of women in tech can be very powerful. At Criteo, we take the opportunities to use this community to collaborate with each other and to build incredible things. So as you can see just behind is some photos about meetups that Alejandra succeed to build inside Criteo. So it was in Barcelona, but there is also here in Grenoble. There is another way to really take advantage from the network is about mentorship. So there is some collaboration we did at Criteo with the Adatech School. And speaking of that, we have the CEO from Adatech School Paris, director, Clara. She will do the talk about this.
Powerful woman.
And so we were able to do some masterclass in front of students who are looking for alternance. So it's very powerful to share your experience with younger, because we are in fact showing them that there is a community for them that they can have when they enter the tech industry, that they are not alone. This leads us naturally to the final part, that is role model. So I have a question for you. who can you put your hands up if you know what's the definition of role model? Who knows what's a role model?
Very
Don't be
shy.
shy.
Two,
This is
three.
a safe place. We said.
Okay,
Okay.
more people.
Okay. Diarmuid, what's a role model then?
Somebody who lives and breathes and demonstrates values that you aspire to.
Exactly. Exactly that. So, before we're talking about what is exactly a role model, I would like to share with you the story about visualization. I think, Alejandra, you have a nice story about this.
So I was listening to this podcast the other day, and there is this research article that came out with a sentence. The musicians were playing cheerfully the entire afternoon on the park. How many musicians? How many of them are men? Did you visualize women? How many women? This is why a role model is important, because we need to see women when we think about engineering. When I say a bunch of developers were working together to solve a bug, I want to be a woman in that picture. The other day I was talking with a guy here, and I was like, okay, no, I cannot do it with this way. And he was like, and this guy cannot do it in another way. Why a guy? Why cannot be a woman? I'm here. I exist.
Exactly. The more role model we are going to have in the tech industry, the more women we will have as a representation, the more we can fight against the stereotypes that in the tech industry, there is only men. This is really important. So, as Yarmut said, a role model is really someone who can inspire others. It's not about inspiring, it's like share with others that share your experience and people get confidence that, okay, it's also possible for me to get there. So we talk about inspiration, we talk about breaking stereotypes. And again, there is about this guidance of young people who enter in the tech industry. We need to show them that we also face some obstacles. We have our own doubts, but still, it's a field that is where we have our place.
And especially building confidence is super important, but also encouraging diversity. It's funny because sometimes I have this conversation with some people that tell me like, oh no, I'm not feminist because feminists want to get the war for themselves. And yeah, sure. I don't agree with that. Feminism is not about that. It's about being there in equal rights. And it's sad that in 2024, we are still thinking that way. No more of that. Encouraging diversity has been proved scientifically that if you have diversity in your teams, you are more successful with the right lead, with the right lead, of course.
Okay, so this slide is basically a spotlight on me. So I was really afraid to put this slide first because, like showing my face everywhere, like, hello, I'm a role model. But this is true. I think I am now a role model for some student. So basically, for example, I had the chance to work with 50 in tech. They wrote an article on my experience. I was sharing my experience about how I changed my career during the COVID. And you know what? I have a funny story about this. Is that I I was during an interview for someone looking for an internship. We did a round table to present ourselves, and the interviewee just stopped me, and she said that she already know me, and I was a little bit surprised. And it was because she said, I read an article on you. And I was, what? I'm a superstar. And finally decided to take Criteo for her internship. He did a really good job. And if you want to check the story, she's just here. Christine is here to... So yeah, this is I think the first time I feel that maybe I have like I can inspire some people. And this is why I really want to put my effort in the Women in Tech community, because I think that maybe more and more people would be interested about my experience and my doubt. I also did some presentation to students with science factor. And this one was really great because the younger they are, the naive question they have, and it's really important to directly introduce in their mind that the tech industry is also an option for them.
So don't be afraid to take the spotlight. Don't be afraid to be a role model. Don't be afraid to take your own experience and share it with other one, because someone else is having doubts, and it's super cool to not feel alone when all those doubts are knocking the door.
Okay, so this is the end. You can clap now.